Netflix has delivered Love, Death, and Robots. It is an animated anthology of shorts that brings together all kinds of genres, including horror, thriller, sci-fi. I mean, think of it kind of like a jacked up robot chicken or even an animated Black Mirror. Now in this, the animation is stunning. I mean, almost every single episode is some sort of animation. There is one that has live action, and then it also incorporates some animation in there. But you have traditional animation, you have 3D, you have anime, you have just like motion capture or photorealistic. I mean, every episode is wildly different, and it just utilizes all kinds of unique styles. There's even one that felt a little bit like Into the Spider-Verse. And so it was really cool to see all of these mesh together in each individual episode. Now there's something like 18 episodes in total, but most of them are not more than 12 minutes long. I mean, there might be one or two that stretch it a little bit more, but none of them are over 20 minutes, I know that. And the series is totally intended for adults. I mean, there is a lot of violence, there is a lot of sex and nudity, there is a lot of profanity, and so this is not something for the young viewers at all. One of the things that I really liked about this series, though, is how short each episode is. Like I said, they were, you know, they're miniature. I mean, they're 12 minutes-ish. Well, they're not even tied together. That's awesome, because if I watch an episode and I wasn't too crazy about that one, I just choose another one, and maybe I'll choose one that is like absolutely stellar. When I watched through all of them, there were definitely standout ones for me that I really enjoyed. Some that I just like, they blew me away, or the humor was really great, or, you know, the animation just across the board was stunning. So that didn't even come into play so much as, I mean, it just drew me in. The writing for these also is really, really smart. I mean, they're just witty and well crafted, and some of them leave you almost hanging or just like on a thought-provoking moment, and it leaves you to ponder. And I kind of liked that in some of these, because, you know, it's not a 2-hour long drawn-out movie where I get to the end and I'm like, wait, what just happened? Now I have to spend the next 2 days trying to figure it out. Now this was just, it was just thought-provoking, or it was like, ooh, that's kind of creepy, or that's really weird, or wow, I didn't see that coming. The series is directed by Tim Miller, who brought us the first Deadpool movie, so you know that we can count on some irreverent humor going in. Now personally, I could do without some or all of the excessive sex and profanity. That's just my personal take on that. But if you're totally into it or it doesn't bother you, then I mean, totally have at it. You can blow through all of the episodes in just a couple of hours. I mentioned one of the episodes is live action and animation, and that involves Topher Grace and Mary Elizabeth Winstead. And that was the only one where they were actually live action actors, and then they were interacting with some animated features or another part of the story. In other parts, they did motion capture or just like photorealistic, because I could tell who some of the actors were in certain ones. There was one, I think it was called Shapeshifters, that was just really cool, and it had the dude, and I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he was from Longmire. He played the shorter, chubby cop in Longmire. If you ever saw that, then you know who I'm talking about. If you didn't, you have no idea who I'm talking about, and you're like, shut up, just keep moving. Overall, this series is a lot of fun because the episodes are short, they're quick moving, and they're just visually stunning. And like I said, if you didn't like one, keep going, because there's bound to be more that you do enjoy. There's plenty of sex, nudity, violence, and profanity in this, so it's definitely not intended for little ones. Keep them away. Now, I am not going to rate each individual episode on its own, just as the series as a whole, the anthology series. And let me first say that if you're watching the Hulu Into the Dark series, where that's another anthology, they could take a few notes from Netflix and Love, Death, and Robots. I give Love, Death, and Robots 4 out of 5 couches. Have you seen it yet? I'd love to know what your favorite episode is. If you haven't watched it yet, come back afterwards and let me know what you liked. If you enjoyed this review, please give it a like. Also, don't forget to share and subscribe. I'm Chris. This is Movies and Munchies. Thanks for couching with me.